you are the host, and there's a team behind the scene that are harmoniously doing what they do. And they do it well. The guys at the cameras, the guys at the sound, everybody is doing his part. And what is lacking in many marriages is understanding the position that you're supposed to hold and the role that you're supposed to take. And so when this role keeps on mixing, and you want to be, if a man wants to be the woman, and the woman wants to be the man, and that brings chaos. And so there is a need for everybody to understand what part they need to play. If you are a man and you are the provider, what are you supposed to provide, and up to what level? As a woman, you are the support. Are you actually being the genuine support in that relationship? And when everybody understands their position, everything moves in what we call harmony. But the unfortunate part, people are moving in, as I said, with expectations. What you say your father do and your mother do in the past, you thought that also will fit into you. I think knowledge is so important, and I thank God for this show, because knowledge is so important in having a successful marriage. Love cannot keep a marriage all the way to the end, because people have divorced and yet they are going all the way. They said, tulikuwa tunapendana, na hata bado mnampenda. Unapata watu wanasemaga wanaachana kwa koti, and they're saying, mi napenda huyu mtu bado. But what has not worked? There is something that they didn't know about the other person that they never took to adapting. So I say there is a need for deliberate, as she said, intentional knowledge on how to work out a relationship. Because when you get to know that, harmony will kick in. But when you don't have knowledge on how to handle relation, proper communication, you find so many couples will communicate to win a fight.
Right.
So there is never a solution, because people come in, a husband will come in to accuse.
Right.
The woman will come in to accuse. And everybody will be on the defense. Instead of bringing them to the table to have a discussion, how can we handle this issue? And so when that fails, there will never be harmony. So I challenge every couple to look out for knowledge and information. Read books.
At what stage? Where? I'm glad that you say read books. At what stage and where?
Before
you march into it.
Tuache kuangalia. Unajua, marriage ndio tunapoango, you are given a certificate, then you start now the course. Now, I think there are people who have succeeded because they chose to learn before. And I'm not saying that by having all the knowledge, you will have a perfect marriage, but it will put you in a better position. It's like you know how to drive, so when you're given a car, at least even if there are possibility of an accident, the chances are less.
Minimal,
But tu mwingine anapewa tu that day, shika steering, alafu mnaanza kuingia mashimo. So I think people need to learn, be deliberate, be intentional.
Just how much information is out here in terms of, just feeding people with that aspect of knowledge? Because somebody else will tell you, me kusoma vitabu, not my kind of thing. I don't go to church, so I don't have a pastor who walks me through this journey. Well, counseling psychologists are expensive, kidogo.
Yeah, I'll also say at times the source of teaching, our primary source of teaching is our families, where we come from. And a lot of people borrow and they carry from their families of origin, because that is your first teacher. And you find out of that, they've borrowed the same, brought it into marriages, and it has become very complicated. Let me give a simple example. Some years back, it would have been very easy back home to accommodate a cousin, to accommodate a sister to stay with you, and as a mom, sister, or somebody, they're educated in the family. And so you find one spouse saying, I have my cousin who is jobless, who needs to stay with us. Now, I believe what is breaking in harmony are external forces.
Okay.
One of the greatest, besides now yourself and the other person, are external forces.
What's changed, Dr. Jane? Because back then, we really, I remember my own home. We had very many of my cousins, so and so and all that. That marriage, survived. The irony of this, when you say then they're external forces, today we don't get to, to accommodate so many of them. But in the moments that we accommodate them, why should they be a dividing factor?
Now, here is a point. Those days, it was a tradition that was in harmony.
Okay.
But you have broken some traditions away. So at times there is this conflict of, I would like our people here. Are we together?
Yeah.
And at times you find a relationship is so crowded because somebody feels like you took your family to educate them, you're not educating my family, and now therein finances begin to become an issue.